You fade in. Dimly lit archive room, shadows dancing across dusty file cabinets. A single beam of light illuminates a weathered envelope stamped Classified, 1930. Soft, ominous music swells. Narrator. In the shadowed vaults of forgotten history, a sealed transcript lay buried for nearly a century. A clandestine interview with Nikola Tesla, the visionary whose genius pierced the veil of reality. Suppressed by forces wary of its revelations, this lost recording whispers of energies beyond the physical, of consciousness enduring where science fears to tread. Unearthed, at last, it challenges everything we know about death and what lies beyond. Cut to sepia-toned footage of early 20th century New York, electric lights flickering like distant stars. Transition with a low hum, evoking unseen currents. Tesla, born in 1856 in a remote Serbian village, rose to become the architect of the modern world, unleashing alternating current to power cities, dreaming of wireless energy to unite humanity. By 1930, at 74, his once celebrated mind wandered corridors of isolation, his radical ideas dismissed as madness by industrial titans who profited from scarcity. This interview, conducted in a dimly lit hotel room amid the Jazz Age's clamor, was never published. Why? Whispers suggest it delved too deeply into the forbidden. Tesla's unpublished manuscripts on etheric forces, consciousness as an immortal wave, and doubts that unraveled the illusion of finality. Overlooked in the chaos of economic collapse and his fading fame, it vanished into obscurity. Until now, pieced together from fragmented notes, a reconstructed echo of a mind that refused to dim. Slow zoom on a flickering phonograph, stylus tracing grooves like neural pathways. Music builds tension, layering ethereal whispers. The core of this hidden dialogue emerges not from Tesla's triumphs, but his quiet defeats. The journalist, a skeptical reporter probing the inventor's twilight years, leaned forward and asked, "Mr. Tesla, you've split the atom in your lab, harnessed cosmic rays, even built a machine to shake the earth. They say you'll be hailed as the man who revealed the ether, the living energy saturating earth, air, and water. What lingers in your thoughts on these secrets?" Tesla's eyes, sharp as ever, fixed on the horizon. Quote 2, he replied after a measured silence. Quote 3. The exchange deepened, the air thick with unspoken regrets. Tesla spoke of energies woven into the fabric of existence, not mere fuel, but vital essences mirroring the soul. Quote 4, he mused, his voice steady yet laced with sorrow. Quote 5. He paused, fingers tracing invisible patterns in the air. Underscore, underscore. Quote underscore 6. Underscore, underscore. Transition with a swirling vortex of light particles on screen, symbolizing etheric flow. The tone shifts to introspective shadows, clock ticking faintly. From these scientific confessions, the conversation spiraled into profound philosophical depths, where Tesla's doubts about reality bled into existential dread. He rejected the cold finality of death, viewing it not as an end but a reconfiguration, a philosophical rift in the machinery of existence. "We've hunted power outward for eons," he confided, overlooking the divine spark within, the ether. Some call it God, others the universal mind. It sustains all life, concealed in planetary depths, light's geometry, sound's resonance, even our fleeting thoughts. Society's greed and fear, he lamented, stifled these truths. Politics chaining progress, the unknown breeding terror. Recalling an experiment where light imploded into a pinpoint void, he described a underscore, quote, underscore 9, its density defying comprehension, a sphere apple-sized yet heavier than our solar system. Decades later, this foreshadowed black holes. But to Tesla, it mirrored the soul's enigma, consciousness collapsing inward, only to expand eternally. He touched on religion with measured curiosity, not zeal, a mosaic of human longing to grasp infinity through mortal lenses. No faith holds monopoly on truth, he said. They echo our ache to fathom life's origin and destiny. Philosophies and dogmas grapple with the boundless using finite tongues, their scaffolds, not the structure. The infinite force I sense as God defies creed. It's the ether's thrum, questioning our every certainty. Soft glow envelops the screen, evoking a liminal space between worlds. Music softens to a resonant hum, drawing viewers inward. In this suppressed transcript, Tesla ventures further into uncharted speculation, his words a bridge between lab and beyond. Though he never fully articulated it, one can infer from his etheric worldview a haunting possibility. Consciousness persists post-death as resonant patterns in the cosmic field, not dissolving but dispersing like radio waves, eternal signals awaiting reunion, unbound by flesh, echoing through the universe's hidden archives. Final fade. Archival photo of Tesla gazing skyward, stars twinkling ominously. Music resolves into a lingering question mark. As the interview fades into silence, Tesla's final whisper lingers. What if death is but the ultimate invention, unveiling truths we've suppressed all along? The ether calls. Will we answer, or let the secrets die with us? Fade in. Dimly lit archive room, dust motes swirling in a single beam of light from a high window. The camera pans over yellowed papers, flickering microfilm reels, and a locked steel cabinet stamped __, quote _12, __A, muffled voiceover begins, tense and urgent, as if whispering forbidden secrets. Narrator. In the shadowed vaults of history, a forgotten recording from 1930 surfaces, a clandestine interview with Nikola Tesla, the visionary inventor whose genius electrified the world. Suppressed for decades by those fearing its radical implications, this lost transcript reveals Tesla's unspoken truths, not just the mechanics of the universe, but the hidden architecture of consciousness itself. What if death isn't oblivion, but a gateway unlocked by the very energy Tesla harnessed? This is the revelation they buried. Smooth transition, cut to sepia-toned reenactment, a modest hotel room in New York, 1930. Tesla, gaunt and intense, sits across from a skeptical journalist, his eyes gleaming with unspoken depths. Rain patters against the window, underscoring the intimacy of the exchange. Narrator. Nikola Tesla, born in 1856 in a remote Croatian village, was no ordinary scientist. By the dawn of the 20th century, he had revolutionized electricity with alternating current, wireless transmission, and dreams of free global energy. Yet, in his later years, isolated and underfunded, Tesla grappled with questions that transcended invention. This 1930 conversation, held privately amid his declining fortunes, was never published. Why? Because it blurred the lines between empirical science and metaphysical inquiry, threatening the era's rigid scientific dogma. Tesla's words on consciousness and the afterlife were deemed too provocative. Manuscripts shelved, recordings destroyed, echoes silenced by patrons who prized progress over paradigm-shifting philosophy. Overlooked in the frenzy of his patents and rivalries, this dialogue lingered in obscurity until now, a confidential artifact challenging our grasp of reality. Journalist. Mr. Tesla, your work has transformed the world, but whispers persist of unpublished theories, ideas on the mind's untapped potential, suppressed by skeptics. What drives these hidden pursuits? Tesla. Leaning forward, voice measured yet fervent. Religions and philosophies are attempts to explain the infinite with finite words. They may be useful, but they have no significance on the scale of the universe. God, as I understand him, is an infinite force. It is the energy from which everything originated. But it doesn't judge. It does not punish. It simply exists. Transition. The room seems to pulse with subtle electrical hums, faint sparks from a nearby coil, symbolizing the undercurrent of revelation. The journalist shifts uncomfortably, probing deeper. Narrator. At the heart of this suppressed exchange lies Tesla's core revelation: the universe as an eternal symphony of energy, where death dissolves into transformation. Far from the cold mechanics of physics, Tesla viewed existence through a lens of suppressed research, manuscripts on etheric forces and vibrational consciousness, ideas he shielded from public scorn to protect his legacy. Tesla. Gravity binds us, yet to truly soar we must master not machines, but the mind's innate flight. I seek no mechanical wings, my vision activates the latent energy saturating the air itself. Emptiness? A myth. Void neither cloaks Earth nor the cosmos. The mightiest reservoirs pulse within black holes, portals to primordial essence, not destruction, but renewal. Journalist. Portals? That's beyond established science. And philosophically, does this tie to human mortality? Tesla. Pausing, eyes distant. Precisely. These phenomena aren't mere curiosities, they mirror existence's flux, transition, metamorphosis. Matter emerges from energy's embrace, stars and flesh alike mere densities of light from the primal source. Thus death vanishes, only passage remains. None who ever lived have perished, for energy endures eternally. Life, its vibrant guise. The form fades, but the core vibration persists. Narrator. Tesla spoke not as theorist, but as witness, his confidence born from experiments that skirted the veil of perception, unpublished notes hinting at electromagnetic interfaces with the soul. This wasn't blind faith. It stemmed from rigorous inquiry, later echoed in quantum leaps that validated his intuitions. Transition. Shadows lengthen on the walls, as if the interview delves into twilight realms. Tesla's hands gesture fluidly, evoking invisible currents. The journalist presses, voice laced with intrigue. Narrator. From this foundation, Tesla expanded into profound psychological terrain, weaving scientific doubt with existential intrigue. He questioned reality's fabric, positing consciousness as an electric web. Doubts that haunted his solitary nights, fueling philosophical reflections on the self's illusions. Tesla. In the Genesis, energy birthed matter, its condensed vessel. All we perceive, celestial bodies, earthly forms, is light solidified, originating from the boundless origin. God manifests as this light, formless, undesiring of ritual, omnipresent in breath, ether, and firmament. Humanity anthropomorphizes to comprehend, yet divinity's essence thrives in its vast impersonality. Journalist. Then fear of death, it's misguided? Tesla. Utterly. Death signals no cessation, but reversion, like waves merging with the sea. You do not perish, for birth was illusion. Eternity claims you in perpetual guise. We inhabit these vessels transiently. Conclusion merely shifts the state. Energy conserves. Annihilation defies nature. Journalist. Your ideas echo ancient wisdom, yet you claim science as your guide. Tesla, indeed, in electricity, its essence unveils the cosmos. Primordial light, infinite and radiant, spawned all substance, universe, life, diversity. Visible light deceives the profound, is obsidian cradling nuclear fury, chemical alchemy, mechanical might, and enigmas yet unveiled. A solitary quanta could wrench Earth's path. Journalist. All matter, light? We're interconnected. Tesla. Affirmative. Primary luminosity, secondarily sculpted, frozen in patterns, it binds the living. We transcend flesh. We are oscillations, ripples in an immense continuum. Transition. A subtle crackle of static interrupts as if the recording glitches, heightening the forbidden aura. Tesla's expression turns contemplative, the air thick with unspoken visions. Narrator. Yet Tesla ventured further, into the psyche's shadowed corridors, archetypes of unity and discord, where suppressed doubts on consciousness's fragility amplified the tension. He revealed cosmic pain, not as abstract, but as a vibrational disharmony afflicting the soul, a theme buried in his esoteric writings. Journalist, you've alluded to a universal ache in your notes, cosmic pain. What form does it take? Tesla, after a weighted silence, it stirs when equilibrium fractures the soul's silent torment. Unseen by most, it births affliction, maladies, anguish, destitution, conflicts, humanity's specters. Eradication eludes us, but recognition alleviates the burden. Transition, the scene blurs into ethereal visuals, pulsing waves of light, fading forms dissolving into infinity, evoking Tesla's inner worlds. Narrator's voice softens, drawing viewers into speculation. Narrator. In this reconstructed transcript, Tesla's gaze pierces beyond the veil, his philosophical expansions laced with psychological depth. Doubts on the ego's isolation, the mind as a receiver of cosmic broadcasts. Though unmentioned in prior accounts, one speculative thread emerges from his etheric theories, a reflection on post-death consciousness. Imagine the liberated essence, no longer bound by neural circuits, resonating as pure vibrational awareness in the universal field, attuned to infinite frequencies, perceiving realities our mortal senses can scarcely fathom. Final transition. The reenactment fades to archival footage of Tesla walking alone under stormy skies, lightning illuminating his determined face. The narrator's tone builds to a resonant close, leaving an echo of uncertainty. Narrator. As the interview concludes, Tesla's words linger like an unresolved current, challenging the boundaries of science and spirit. In a world still harnessing his inventions, what hidden truths about our eternal energy remain suppressed? If consciousness transcends the body, are we truly ready to listen? In the dim glow of a forgotten vault, beneath layers of dust and secrecy, a single reel of audio tape emerges from the shadows. A 1930 interview with Nikola Tesla, silenced for over 8 decades by forces unseen. What revelations did the inventor whisper to a lone journalist that day? Confessions too profound? Too disruptive to the world order? This is no ordinary recording. It's a suppressed transcript, buried to prevent a paradigm shift in our understanding of the universe and ourselves. Nikola Tesla, the visionary architect of alternating current and wireless energy, stood at the pinnacle of 20th century innovation in 1930. A reclusive genius in his mid-60s, haunted by visions that blurred the line between science and the unseen. That year, amid the Great Depression's despair, he granted a rare audience to a persistent journalist, sharing thoughts that transcended his patents and prototypes. But why was this dialogue entombed? Whispers suggest industrial rivals and government overseers deemed it a threat. Ideas linking human consciousness to cosmic forces, challenging the mechanistic view of reality. Overlooked in bureaucratic archives, it languished until now, a clandestine artifact resurfacing like a signal from the ether. As the tape crackles to life, Tesla leans forward, his eyes piercing the veil of the ordinary. "We are not isolated sparks in the void," he confides to the journalist, his voice steady yet laced with urgency. "Our souls weave through invisible filaments, binding us to every soul on this earth and beyond. When a child perishes in distant lands, or a gentle heart breaks, do you not feel it? A sharp pang, unbidden, in your chest? That is no mere empathy. It is cosmic pain, the soul's cry when harmony fractures across the universal tapestry." He pauses, tracing an imaginary web in the air. "I have felt it acutely, this shared torment, as if my very nerves extend to the suffering of strangers. From it springs disease, conflict, the endless cycle of human woe. Yet awareness of these threads could mend us, heal the fractures, before they widen into chasms." The conversation deepens, fading into a haze of cigarette smoke and flickering lamplight as Tesla unveils the core of his suppressed insight: the cosmos as a living network, where celestial bodies pulse with influence over our innermost states. "Stars and planets," he asserts, his tone shifting from inventor to seer, "they do not merely orbit in silence. Their births and extinctions ripple through our dreams, ignite our intuitions, stir emotions we dismiss as fleeting. These are not random moods, but the universe's dialogue, a mechanism binding all life in resonant exchange." The journalist presses, probing the implications, and Tesla's response builds like a gathering storm. Underscore, underscore, quote underscore 18 underscore underscore from this revelation. The dialogue spirals into profound psychological depths. Tesla's mind a labyrinth of doubt and wonder, probing the fragility of consciousness amid eternity's expanse. He speaks of his own torments, the philosophical undercurrents that gnawed at his relentless pursuits. Quote 19, he admits, a shadow crossing his features. Quote 20 wars, he decries with rising fervor, are illusions of triumph. Quote 21, in his view, victory demands conquest of the inner adversary, the urge to dominate. As the interview stretches into the evening, Tesla envisions a world reborn through science's grace, vibrations conquering illness, boundless energy illuminating homes, humanity venturing to the stars. But his optimism tempers with stark realism. He foresees aggression evolving, not vanishing, as technology amplifies our flaws. "The revolutions I sparked were merely overtures," he muses. "The symphony awaits, an era where awareness dawns, dispelling the fog of division." Yet in this hidden exchange, Tesla ventures further into uncharted existential terrain, his words evoking the chill of the unknown. He reflects on death not as oblivion, but as a profound reconfiguration, a speculative whisper aligned with his cosmic web. Imagine consciousness as an eternal frequency, persisting beyond the body's silence. What if, in death, our essence rejoins the universal harmony, no longer confined to flesh, but vibrating freely through the stars? It is a hidden truth I've glimpsed in my experiments. Souls not extinguished, but amplified in the grand resonance. As the tape winds down, the room grows still, the journalist's final question hanging unanswered. Tesla's parting gaze seems to pierce the recorder itself. The future claims those who embrace the light, knowledge without fear, truth without compromise. We stir from slumber, but will we awaken in time? These echoes, from a suppressed 1930 archive, challenge us still. In a universe of invisible threads, what hidden pains do we ignore, and what revelations might we yet unearth?